So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Redstone Quarry podcast. Today we have episode 57, and we are joined by three people, except for me. Enemy,
Hello, I'm here.
Nice enemy.
I am Nils.
The next person on the list doesn't know that he is rough, and I am Wout. So,
No, I'm obviously not Raph. You should know that.
rough man enough. Anyway,
It's a joke.
rough money no nos, if you want to be Spanish. So, anyway, I actually improvised that one, but let's get going. Lots of stuff happened this week well, actually, not, I think, whatever. Let's just get going. TRQ 56, follow up. Or actually, is there any editorial bit we need to do?
I don't think there's.
I just realized something. I talked about HDQ last week, so I will now again. I'm sure all of you followed my advice and watched, but for those who didn't, well, sucks. But they just reached $1 million 4 minutes ago from when we were recording this. So yay!
Happy for Wout.
So yeah, and they're still going for like roughly 8 more hours. So it's really going well, and the Super Metroid run is coming up later tonight. So we're gonna get hyped for that, right, guys?
Totally.
No.
Totally.
We'll
Wout,
finally find out
Wout,
who.
Why
who of-
would you say that now? Because whenever you listen not to this on
Yes, but the listener can do
Monday.
something else. Were the animals saved or killed? We don't know, but you listener, you do, because you are from the future. Were the animals saved or killed?
Maybe they're listening to this in like 2030.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, I will link to the Bitwar, and it will probably have stabilized by the time you check it. Right now, Kildom is in the lead with about $10,000. And it has like kind of been at $10,000 for the past days. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna win it, but who knows what happens at the last moment. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen at the end of the Super Metroid. They actually got a record earlier this week, I heard, in Super Metroid when they did kill the animals. Really crazy, like just a pretty popular game, but they apparently still sometimes get world records and more remarkably at a marathon. Yeah, that's that. There was no Minecraft run, so I guess that's that. However, the EG and Hero Core run were fantastic. I think they were both categories which I had not seen before, and I will link them. And I think I should probably stop talking now, or Niels will mute me.
Yeah. Let's get to
Can we
comments
get
then.
to follow up?
Yeah,
Think so.
follow up. So to TRQ 56 to you in 1 year. There's lots of comments.
I want to point out one that's like very interesting.
Yes, Mr. Creeper's comment.
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah. No. Seriously.
But that's my comment. How can you talk?
Okay. You talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, we won't be able to read it out entirely on stream. It's like pretty long. But you can. So just go to the previous episodes.
This is not a stream.
Whatever. On the recording, on the podcast. So, but he did put his comment up on Pacement as well, so you can check it there. So I'll link that. So Mr. Creepers, as he calls it, the Wout quote hunting experience. And basically, after a long time, and I just realized I'm editing the templates description, not the real one, and I need to edit that right away. Anyway, basically, he answered quote number 7. 9. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm studying. My mind is somewhere else.
Wait, what
almost.
number was it again?
Guess a bit more.
9. It only took me 2 tries. Okay, good enough. So yeah, that's really nice, I think. So answer number 9, ending it right now by Mr. Creeper. I'm gonna do it without. What's his YouTube name? With an underscore, so it will be with an underscore, even though it looks ugly. Mr.
The
Creeper
M
should
is
get a better
also a
name.
capital, I think.
And it is World Fell Silence. It's another game by Daniel Remar, the third game Daniel Remar I've referenced in the retro quotes. And maybe there will be more in the future, who knows? But I'm not giving anything away about that. I'll try to be more careful because...
No. Maybe
I
everything
think it's
is-
still
more
good.
question about Dutch books.
Yeah, that's what only question left now is about what Dutch book ends with the following quote. En dan is het er plots. Het beeld verdwijnt even snel als het is gekomen. Het was heel mooi. Een tak van de kastanjeboom. Met een laagje sneeuw op. Which is roughly translated by me. And then all of a sudden, there it is. And the image disappears as quickly as it came. It was very beautiful. A branch of the chestnut tree with a thin layer of snow on top. And if you can find
Okay.
out what Dutch book that comes from, then you get a lot of respect from here. Listen, as in you're pretty good at finding stuff out. Yeah. and you also get the answer, and you get enemy points. I did
And you
establish.
get a sneaker.
Yeah, I did established 2 rules already while talking to Mr. Creeper for the last quotes. Wait, where's my comment? Niels, my comment got muted for spam. Quickly get it back.
What? What?
Go
No,
on
it's there.
TRQ.
Yes,
There's
wait.
my comment is marked as spam. Quickly.
Okay.
Anyway, so basically I established 2 rules, and I'm gonna establish the 3rd one right here. First one is not getting close to my physical copy of the book. So not breaking into my house, not like just don't do anything with my physical copy of the book. Also, not hacking any of my devices, be it my phone if you're gonna hack that thing somehow, or my computer or anything. And the 3rd rule is also no blackmailing, which is probably the most realistic option at this point. And there may be more rules to come, but those are the rules right now, and they're not definite. They're not final, so don't think you've got found some trick.
It's just a
secret
matter
way.
of time before someone puts it on the Google Books database.
Um,
So, yeah.
Wout, I think
Yeah, like it
I
may be
can-
in there, but it doesn't. Like actually, in Google Book Database, you have the entire text of the book or what? Like if you, I
Normally,
wouldn't think so.
and
No,
it's
because
technically searchable.
it is online. Like I've looked it up in the past week. You can find it on the internet. Like it's not like the book can be like if you Google the title of the book, then you get a lot of results. It's not like a book
Can
I got the
I-
only copy of. I'm pretty sure there was
What-
thousands
what-
of 10,000
what should I,
Okay,
results.
is
what's
it
the book
legal to
title I
ask a
have to look
question
up?
on a site like Quora?
Aside like what? Quora.
Like Quora.
Well, technically, then you're just crowdsourcing because other people are just going to have to do the same thing. So I would be fine with it, but then basically the person who finds out gets it, in my opinion. Like it depends a bit on how much effort you have done, because this goes back to the quote hunting experience from Mr. Creeper.
Experience.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to the story and quickly cover his entire story in a brief manner. So basically, it started pretty long ago. So he noted that the first hard quote was number 2, which came from Hero Core, which is another game by Daniel Remar. And basically, he said, well, after stalking Wout's Twitter for a bit, he figured out that I was pretty fond of Remar's games. So just like with Hero Core, this quote wasn't Googleable, so he thought maybe it's that. I had used another game though, EG, for the quote, so maybe I wouldn't use it. So anyway, he basically got the Hero Core quotes after thinking it's probably in the credit scene. He went through a bunch of Let's Plays and he found it, which I find a bit sad because I'll get back to that in a second. But so basically, I said something along the lines apparently of yeah, without the hints, the only way you could figure that out is being very knowledgeable about me, the people I follow, and why, and my general interests. And since I expected that from Nerdy last week, and he failed, I don't see many people doing that, which was like half a year ago. So then he says 4 months pass, and I suddenly hear Wout say in TRQ 55, the 9th one is easier than the 10th one. It's still hard, but if you know a bit about me and my tastes, then you should, I think you should be able to find it over some time. In fact, I saw it again yesterday. I was checking the source again. So basically, he thought that was similar. So maybe there are similarities. Maybe it's also the Remar game. He basically told me that on Twitter that he was going through a bunch of Remar games. And I was like, did I ever say that it was in there though? But the thing is, he didn't mention the Bartro quotes. So I kind of implied that that the Bartro quotes probably had something to do with it. So that was a pretty smart strategy of him there, and I'll watch my words a bit better. I was trying to be neutral, but in fact I did miss a thing, which is that he never referenced the Bartro quotes. So he was pretty sure that it was Remar game, and then he went through a bunch of his games and his Let's Plays, and he tries, like most importantly, his famous games, and tried to find it. But yeah, basically in the end, what he did, he even tried to decompile games because he thought it's a string. We can probably find it somewhere in the game source code. He tried to download.
Getting too hard, I think.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, basically he tried to decompile game maker source code, which is how Remar writes his games, which is not an easy task, let alone opening it with the light version, like the free demo, and then trying to find the code. He tried, he failed apparently, but this was about time to call it quits. I thought maybe I hadn't correctly analyzed Wout's tweets, or I was just wasting time. And I was just wasting time. After all, it didn't make sense for him to put up 3 game quotes all by the same guy. But I had come too far to give up like that, and I just couldn't. And for my final attempt, once and for all, I actually emailed Daniel Remar to ask him if he recognizes the quote. I was still debating whether or not maybe this was going a bit too far, but soon enough, 2 days later, I checked my inbox and there it is. A reply from him. Yep. Oh boy, he recognized it. Also, thumbs up for a dramatic reading. So yeah, basically he emailed Daniel Remar in the end, and Remar told him the answer. So he was a bit like, "Is this cheaty?" And I think I like it still. Like in the
Because
end,
then the developer knows that you're referencing and he's like, ooh, this weird Belgian guy? He
I
asked people to search for this quote.
he probably finds that weird, yeah, but like it's not like I'm that desperate for his attention that I would use this strategy.
Also, it's not a very good way because it's like half a year of waiting.
Yeah, like I think I actually sent a tweet. I had a very brief conversation on Twitter because he thought he wanted to make. He uploaded a video today, which he rarely does. I'll link it. And basically, in the video, and he was like, maybe I should finally hook up Google Plus so I can reply to people's comments. And I was like, didn't they ditch that idea last year? And he was like, I don't know. Well, it was a bit complicated. Like we neither of us really know
What
how it
kind of
works.
games does he make in the first place?
Well, not very popular games. Like, it's not like he does FPSs or stuff, which a lot of people play. But I don't like. I probably wouldn't like all of his games. I've played 4 of his games so far, if I'm not mistaken, and I like them all a lot. Maybe I'm just inclined to not play much more because then I won't like them. But oh well. Yeah. I'll link to the Princess Remedy trailer, which is a game by him and Ludosity. Which is weird because he is an employee at Ludosity, so don't ask me how that partnership works out, but oh well. So yeah, basically, I think it's alright that he found it that way. I personally, I would find it a lot nicer if people actually find the quotes by like looking at the meaning and thinking what kind of context could this have been. Like credits, that's a good idea. But for example, take the 10th quote. Like for example, what would the target audience of such a book be? If you can't figure it out yourself, like maybe you could ask this person who actually speaks Dutch. Maybe they can read more into the original text rather than my translation in English. But like,
And Wout has the book, so
yeah, and like also you can just think about the
what kind of books would Wout have other than cooking books and bullshit books?
well, I will give you. I'll tell you right here though that I never chose to buy this book. I
Well,
just
this doesn't help.
it's not a random book. I
So
like.
ask all of his brother
Also, I
and
didn't
his,
steal it. Just
and all of his family. What did you give
didn't
him
steal
Wout on
it.
his birthday? Did you give him a book that ends with this quote?
I don't think was ever given to me. In my family, we don't really have like books any of his own necessarily. Like I have books in my room, and my brother and sister do too. Like I shouldn't get too private on podcast, but let's just say that like I never chose this book, but I just read it and I like it, and it's on my room, in my room, whatever.
Is it,
Okay, so I basically have to find a native Dutch speaker that speaks good English and is a fan of literature. Okay.
Yeah, lots of literature because it's not like a classic thing at all.
And knows what books Wout have. Wout
But
has.
it's possible. Like I looked up on it and I actually was. I shouldn't give too many hints because actually there's a bit of a artistic value to this thing, not artistic beauty to this thing, not never being found. But I guess you can say that the thing actually got a bit of critical acclaim, a lot more than I expected from the book actually, even though I liked it myself. But yeah. But it's not famous anyway. I've never met someone and like found out that they also read it. So that's that. But maybe we should stop talking about that. So that's kind of Mr. Creeper's comment. You can read the entire thing in the description. Yeah, it's a bit too long, but anyway, just do that and also like play the game World Fell Sound. I didn't even talk about it right now, but I think it's a really interesting game to say the least. And I played it like first
Interesting.
time in May. Like I can't say too much about. All right, just saying it's story based. Basically, I think it's fair to say that I just quickly explain the gameplay. Like you just basically are talking with someone and you do dialogue options. There's nothing else. It's an interactive story. That's it. But I found it very interesting personally, and I just thought it was a very good game in a sense, and that's why I put it up there. And yeah, like all the things which I use for quotes are things which I did actually enjoy in one way or the other. Maybe
So
that's
you
also
do enjoy Wout to the outro.
No, okay. Let me do the 5 last ones. I think Yeah, like for example, where can you see the SCP from Hitchhiker's Guide? Like that's not like a great artistic book, but it's really funny. So I do like it for that, and I read them. So one this that Hitchhiker series is actually I think the last book I read voluntarily, like not for school. It's a bit sad maybe, but oh well, that was some time ago already.
Is it a storybook or is it like book with interesting stuff in it?
Yeah, like I mean both fiction and non-fiction. Like the last books
Not
I've read
even
are
fiction.
non-fiction because
Well,
of college, but oh well. Yeah, I'm currently reading my operating system concepts book. That's that. But we're really getting long-winded here about the Bradrock words. So that's that, and I'll link to World Fell Silent in the description. So yeah, just check out Wizard Creeps Comment if you want to know more. And now I think it's time to move on now.
is that the longest comment ever?
I think that's the longest single comment we ever had. Yeah.
Even with
Yay.
Yevis stuff.
Yeah, like for single thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yevis
Okay.
longest play spin was shorter than that.
Okay, yeah,
But-
you're beaten. And don't try to like up yourself now, it's too late.
But it was actually very interesting to read because
Okay.
I never thought anyone would go through the efforts he made to find out one of the
Yeah,
Bradrock
like I
quotes.
love it. I really like that people are getting invested in this or like a few, very few people. Oh,
Have you? I think it's singular. Just one.
well. Shh.
So apparently, Joey doesn't care about the new year. Okay.
Thanks for letting us know.
It's just a new day
Important.
again.
Oh yeah, enemy. I have to ask one thing though about the virtual quotes. What's up with the points now? Like, does Secreeper get like 2 or 3 quote points?
He gets double points because we said for a guy who solves the next quote, he gets double points.
All the points? What?
Double points.
Oh, 2
It's
points.
all the points. How many points do we have in total?
All of
Infinite, so
them.
we get
Apparently.
infinite points.
No, he
Yeah,
gets
oh well.
definitely double points.
Or do you keep
Uh,
track of points?
And he gets a third extra point for putting all the work into it.
They
Because
get
yeah,
3 points?
yeah, he gets 3 points in total.
Would he have gotten 4 if he figured out himself without emailing the creator?
No, I think that was
Then it would
fair.
be 6.
I think it would have helped. It would be funny if someone mails the writer of this book and asks for it.
Yeah,
But
well,
if you
then you would already know what the book is.
yeah, like if you've got the author figured out, I would be very surprised if someone can figure out the author but not the book somehow. But oh well, it's always possible technically.
Wout, can you give me a picture of the books you have in the next to you? And just
Yeah.
all of the authors
well,
that
actually,
you
I'm not.
see
The
there,
picture is a
just
bit
send them
annoying.
all an email.
No, a picture's a bit annoying, but I can tell you there's some authors next to me: Abraham Silberschatz, Peter B. Galvin, Greg Gain,
Well,
but,
I don't think that helps, right?
Robert Sedgwick, Kevin Wayne, Erik Steegmans.
I don't
Paul
recognize any
Courtois.
one of them.
Yeah, they're like all computer scientists except for the last one, which was my philosophy professor from last year. Sorry.
So
Oh, well.
there's also just school books.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay, let's do comments.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to point out something from your half book. Line 21, you say that TDO is such a sheen, just a talkie. Yes, actually, TDO talks a lot less in English than he does in Spanish. When he goes to Spanish, he's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, in Spanish, and then it's, god damn it, they have to switch to English again, and then, hello.
Well,
how
why?
are you?
Because English is fine.
Yes, I can understand English. That's better than like Spanish or German or
Well, that-
Swedish, something like that. I can understand those, so I don't like those languages as much as English because I can understand it.
There was also a bit more discussion about who the law of, about bedrock breaking or law of bedrock breaking bedrock should be named after, and there's not one person who discovered like the most like all the bedrock things like that. Many people who found a lot of different ways to break bedrock, and I think Ray has the most, even though his the ones he showed are the most useless. I guess like the portal bedrock. He, I would assume, found independently, but it also was known before. So, I guess most useful one would be, maybe Sheen for the dragon egg. Well, I
I'm
guess he
smiling
didn't.
for
He
the
didn't.
kissing ones.
I guess he didn't see the dragon egg. He's also sort of made it a legend. Well, it's hard to say. So I guess we could just call it the law of breaking bedrock instead of naming it after someone. For now.
Yeah.
Well. What else? Mr. Creeper also says, four-way limestone is too easy. Try six-way.
No thanks. After we discussed this last week. 4-way extensions are extremely limited to the extent that they exist. You can check. Just
It was long believed that 4 ways wasn't even possible. So, of
yeah.
course, now it's somewhat possible.
I don't really get the point of it that much anymore. Like with if you want to have a let's think about an application of the 4-way flying machine by Peter Yang. Like if you can stick a block onto there somewhere, you can't even fit an extension on there. You can't extend it. So you really just have the engine. Like if you can put one block on there, like a diamond block you want to transport for some reason. Yeah, you guys can tell me diamonds aren't more valuable, whatever. Even if you wanted to do that, it's probably easier to just put it on a bi-direction engine, send it to the station, and then instead of turning that engine into one in the other direction, just put it on another engine and send that one off.
That's actually smarter. Just use normal pistons to move it between two different engines.
Yeah, or
Maybe
make a long
put it,
conveyor, I guess.
Instead of a completely 4-way, just a bi-directional one, but with some more effort, you can switch it into the other direction, move it into the other direction.
Well, that's hard because you have pistons which are oriented the wrong way.
If you want to transport blocks from point A to a point B, that can be anywhere in a 1 by 100 by 100 field. And whenever you choose one of those spots, you have to move it there often. So first you go forward, 50 blocks, and then you have to go right. So you set up the bi-directional one, move to 50 blocks forward, and there you may have this other thing that just stays on one axis that can switch it in that spot. And then it can move in both the other directions, and then you have a third one that moves blocks to that intersection. So basically a movable intersection.
Niels wants movable intersections.
I don't know, that may be more useful than if you have then those 4-way flying machines that you cannot stick anything to.
I'm not sure if you can stick anything to them, but it's not going to be a lot. Well, anyway, that's discussion from last week mostly, so I don't think that we have too much more to add to that. So maybe we should move on. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are taking off initiative, so...
Well, I guess can read out
I think
Ray's
one
comment.
okay is enough.
I think minecarts should have a complex rework done on them. They should be reworked so that they are used as the primary way of moving items rather than ice streams. There can also be other features added to them, such as dispensers and pistons. It seems that if breaking bedrock is seen as being too easy to do by server owners, they fear that their server safety is at risk. Many semi-vanilla survival servers have barrier blocks in place to prevent people from stealing stuff. So knowing that their protection can be overridden causes them to want the feature removed. Also he says, I would really love to see more autocompletes added. I noticed recently in 1.9 snapshot they added the tilde autocomplete. So if you are not looking at a block and you hit tab, it will fill in with tilde, which is really nice. One thing that I find annoying in 1.9 is that you can't place entities where there are already entities. So if there's a dropped item on the ground, you can't place an armor in the same location. Yeah, I guess it's pretty annoying.
That sounds a really stupid thing.
Yeah.
That's why?
I think it's like the
understand.
reworked entity collisions and being able to push stuff and so on. Maybe, might be. I think the minecart suggestion is interesting. I would really like the minecarts to work better with unloading and keeping momentum and so on. So you could.
I would like everything to work better with unloading enemy, but you're not getting it.
Just you can set up a rail and it's all resupplies and it will never break. Like unloader and a loader on one end, right? And it will always work no matter what you do. That would be nice.
enemy loading. It's always complicated. Live with it. So
Yeah.
really, like if you unload a minecart, doesn't it store it and momentum? Like
It should, but sometimes it doesn't.
I'm surprised because I mean
Like,
normally that's just stored in that like I thought that was the whole reason why the sandstorm never fails because items maybe unload and unload at weird times, but
Yeah, but
in the end,
items work. Minecarts are weird.
what?
Also, like with minecarts, if you have like at least for us at the gold farm, we have a lot of straight tracks going back and forth to collect stuff, right? With minecarts.
Yes.
Sometimes they switch lanes. No clue why. Sometimes someday you come there,
More
there's
I
like 3 on one lane, and then two next to it are empty. Stuff like that.
The more I try to work with this game, the more I give up sometimes. But actually, this week I've established. Well, basically, I had to rework my whole. I'll probably get into later again, but my whole Samtech philosophy, and it's based on a new principle, which is the principle of basically chunks are stable if. Sorry, you don't have problems if you. What's it exactly? If you leave chunks in a stable state when they unload. That's the idea. So if stuff is going on in the chunk when it unloads, then weird stuff happens. Otherwise, it doesn't. That's the main idea. So it could happen. Otherwise, it normally shouldn't.
So stable loading is not something you are looking
No,
into
no. Like
anymore.
what I did with the stable loading, I'm gonna call it type 1 stable loading probably from now on because it works with command blocks, but it has plenty of downsides which make it not truly stable or truly permanently loaded. For example, redstone repeaters which lag behind for a tick. I've had that. My pistons which start behaving in weird manners, which leave blocks behind, even though they should have retracted them. Like basically my instant repeater sometimes doesn't work. It always seems to work. Like I've gotten set up. It always seems to work if I am in the overworld, even if I'm like really far away. But as soon as I go to the end and I'm using like spawn chunks and everything is the same, it doesn't work. So yeah, that's that.
So as long as there's one player in the overworld somewhere, it works.
I don't know. Like I did all of my tests with the sand dispenser, trying to get it working in the overworld, and then I just go to the end and I notice, hey, wait a second. After like a couple of tries, my instance repeaters don't work anymore for some reason. They leave blocks behind, and then I'm stuck. So yeah, basically, I don't know how much stable loading technology really like. It doesn't seem to work out if the player isn't in the overworld. Works if you're like if you're stably loading chunks from the spawn chunks and have the player be far away, but doesn't work if you're loading it from the spawn chunks and the player is in the end. So yeah, but that's other stuff I'll talk about probably in the video maybe. Oh well, there's lots of stuff I should probably talk about in my second stable loading video. But yeah, that's
Just make an hour long and talk about everything you can think of.
No, but like chunk loading hasn't been figured out properly. Like people often say, like, oh yeah, it's simple. You just when stuff gets loaded, then like you have a lazy chunk, and if you have 5x5 region, then you have an empty person sync chunk. Simple, but there's lots of weird things which happen over chunk unloads, which doesn't make much sense. And you also have like for example, the principle of like stability or whatever. I need to give a good name to it. Like there's one thing which doesn't match up with it. One observation I've had, and that's with the with all the way back in July with the what's it called, the remote pushing complications video. As far as I know, those chunks were stable when they got unloaded, as in the flying machine was stopped, and nothing was going on in those chunks when they were unloaded. But for some reason, they crashed. Sometimes it didn't, even though it's exactly the same thing going on relative to the other save. So but that's the only time it's happened since then I've never had it, so I'm gonna give it a try like this. And if that works, then there's a decent chance I finally managed to find the solution to sand tank. Would be nice. But yeah, that's a story for maybe later. Sorry for spamming. How do you even arrive at this topic? Like chunk loading?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We talked a little about my cards when I read out Ray's comment.
Yeah, I have to say, Phalanx Sound behaves in extremely unpredictable ways over unloads, so that's another entity then. Is anyone gonna?
Yeah.
Oh, well. So then we got to a new comment. YouTube, as I've said, YouTube suggested me to watch Surahs of the Quran. I was 99% sure to be on the list. Now I'm 100% sure. Well, maybe we are on the list too now. Oh well.
I guess that would have fit right after the book Wout comment. Well, if you want to be sure to be on a list, you can go to torproject.org and you will definitely be on a list.
Yeah, or Yeah, like I was once told by someone who knows some stuff about it, so I actually think it may be real, even though it sounds ridiculous. That everyone who browsed certain, like it was some article on some website about Linux, which was about Tor or something, which the U.S. government didn't like, and they basically, I think they decided to, the article, like the URL of the article was something like linuxnews.org/article/ Linux has no Tor support, or I'm just like saying something. And if I have to believe the dude who told me, then they decide to make a list for everyone who goes to URLs starting with linux.org/article/linux. Yeah, that's very smart. But I don't know. It was something along those lines.
Is it the US that makes this list?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like as much.
Well,
as
if you
people
go
why
to
would they make-
torproject.org,
well,
you're
MI5,
on
I
the
guess,
list
but that's
already.
about it. And they basically work for the US, so that's that.
Yeah,
Wha-
like the NSA has a list for everybody who visits the torproject.org. Like,
Well,
I don't know
technically, I don't know. Is Torch like is the server located in the US then, or?
No, that doesn't have to be.
But then, how do they know? Like,
They
I
know.
don't know exactly how the internet protocol works, but
They
I'm
are
pretty
Big
sure the traffic
Brother.
doesn't go to that country.
But
And what
also
if you're
something.
using a
The
VPN?
thing that's interesting is also parts of the American government are funding Tor project, so that's also a little
What?
weird.
The
Yeah, like,
American government is weird. They don't get along. It's like, we hate this thing, but the other branch of government wants it. So yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
Democrats and Republicans. Ah! Oh well.
well, let's get on with like Minecraft stuff.
Yeah. Baltic
Do you
podcast.
have more comments? This one is for bedrock breaking. Peasants, about 2016.
Yeah,
can see
and it's
very
obviously that
highly
he
of
is indeed a
us.
peasant because look at his spelling. He spelled it with what was it? I don't even find the comment anymore. He's such a
Peasants.
peasant.
Peasant.
I saw that one was marked as flag.
Can you get it back? I can't find
Was
it anymore.
was marked as spam. I already did.
I see
Oh, I find
all
it.
of
I
them.
find it. Yeah. Okay. And then
Also-
Liebe decided to respond by, "So you think lowly of me now?" And the answer is, of course, yes, because he said thick instead of think. So yeah, I think it's pretty
No,
obvious
it's
that
not
you guys are
thick.
peasants.
It's thick with K.
With
Yeah,
a
well,
K.
I give it
Yes.
Also, Charcoal is very happy that we use this bug report, which I'm not very satisfied because this week there's no bug report suggestion for bug of the week, which, well, too bad.
Let's see
Okay,
what
keep
the
on talking. I'll
latest
find one.
submitted,
I'll find one.
Yeah, Niels, check
I
it out
guess.
in some spam. Also about the thing with the bug report from last week, that is we actually cannot select fishing rod entity as unknown anymore, and that's part of the bug, which, well, I wasn't aware of. So yeah, bug report makes even more sense. Go back and upload it. Yeah. Maybe we should like go back and see if like we actually made someone actually upvotes the bugs we talk about here. Well, that's what else. Banana Popper also pointed out that the list of podcast members is a bit shorter. We hit the character limit with our long show notes.
That was
So-
not the full reason though, but
So the
Enemy.
podcast, the members that aren't like here all the time anymore, and like Norwegian is also not coming, like he doesn't want to anymore. We just removed.
actually it's a bit long than that. Like not too long ago we hit the character limit, and I think I put the show notes on paste bin, maybe for this one actually. No, not for this one. It's maybe for the one before. Either way, I think I put it on paste bin once because it was just kind of too long. And yeah, that was for TRQ 55 probably. So what was I trying to say? So basically, that's that. However, the reason they were removed was, well, it has been a topic for a long time, and there's one specific person on the podcast who doesn't like it when there's inactive people on lists. Apparently, we won't name names. And as a result, we decided it was a topic for discussion, and we discussed it with the Norwegian a long time ago and Macro recently. And since I tried to like update the lists on like regular episodes, normally I use the 10s, now I use the 56th one, as in like normally I use 1, 11, 21, and so forth every 10 episodes, but now I went for the 5th one, so that's why we did it on 56th. But yeah, that's that. And while Doc's still on there, we decided to keep him on, considering that he was there on, I think, 53 or something along those lines, and he may still join in the future as well. We just don't know. we may have to discuss it with him as well. But for now, it's fine. And that's that comment basically. And since you guys aren't saying anything as usual, I can look into other comments.
I just found out that on the bug tracker they actually list 1.10 and bugs for 1.10, which is quite funny.
Yes, it
There are like
seems.
3 bugs that they fix on that.
I pasted one that's like applies for 1.10 for some reason. Or is fixed in 1.10. According to the bug tracker, but well.
I think his last comment probably by Mr. Creeper. I'm not a peasant, Wout is a dictator, overthrow the empire, fight for democracy. Yeah, no, you got 0 likes, so that's how much is about your little rebellion is getting. Then, second point, we need more Americans on the podcast. Well, geez, guys, I think the American just told us something very real. Who should we get on?
America.
No,
that's not-
I
no
meant
Americans.
like
I
just
like
anyone
Europe
but
We
Mr.
have,
Creeper,
like-
please.
We have like waffle guys over here.
Okay, basically anyone but Mr. Creeper. Yeah, that guy. Anyway, no, like we could, but actually it's a bit useful in the sense that all Americans are like inactive now, because we used to be like we record this after midnight, and that used to be because of the Americans, and now we can be a bit more flexible in our schedule, and it can be
Because
now
everyone is using same time zone, and it's not like, well,
Yeah.
I am not available then because it's like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like it does help for a bit, but I mean, of course, I do get that it's also a bit weird that we've turned into the European tech podcast, even though there's still some. Actually, if you look at I have to say, if you look at the technical community, like we've lost an awful lot of Americans. Like on ZipCrowd, you still used
Yeah.
to have like Gabo and Impulse back in the day, but like Gabo isn't active anymore on Impulse. I don't know if he still does like he does survival and stuff. Like he has an active YouTube channel, but like it's not like he still does like the big innovations he used to.
Even with
unfortunately.
ZipCrowd, it was most of the users there.
Yeah,
They
more
were-
like
were-
German.
We're from Europe.
Yeah, even Germany in particular. And then, well, I mean, of course, we do have a bit of a bias towards surf tech, and maybe also Redstone. So, like, we are probably ignoring some people from the command block ski. But yeah, like, there haven't been as much technical Minecrafts from the US lately. I would say.
Maybe Europe is just better.
Oh well. Well, that's
No,
probably
they're
like
just too busy playing shooter games because they like shooting people in real life, and they
yes,
also like
of
shooting
course,
people
because
in
that's
video
how an
games.
entire population of 330 million people works. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I actually I have to think if I now would think of Potshot probably because but he then again he's that's no like technical Minecraft, but he does work on MC Edit, so it's close. But I mean, of course, there's also other people like Mr. Creeper. He like doesn't make videos, I think, but he does other thing. Like he understands it. He's a technical player. And isn't she an American as well?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
he just doesn't speak a lot.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever heard him speak. Oh well, so that's that.
I have.
And also like charcoal and stuff. Like, I'm sorry to all American techno Minecraft players who I just offended. Like, I'm probably missing a lot of people, but it just seems to be
Name
less.
them all.
Yes,
all of
because
them.
like all people, even though those who I don't know, like this goes right back to episode 1 of the podcast. Like, what is technical Minecraft and when are you a technical Minecraft? I mean, it's very subjective, and some people probably wouldn't like my definitions, or at least like they're pretty subjective anyway. So, yeah. Well, I don't think it's very relevant. So let's get back to more important topics being
Our
guys.
report of the week. Yay!
Yes. And well, oh yeah, the facing value. I think I may have noticed this one myself actually. So who wants to present it?
You can.
Okay, so
It's already fixed.
oh, you know what?
No, it's reopened.
Okay, Ralph,
It
you
says
read because
fixed
you.
version. Far
Okay, the
But-
future
number is
version.
Okay, it's called MC581119. Sorry. It's basically facing value for repair in the individual screen is the opposite of the direction that the repair is actually facing.
What?
That's a good bug.
The interesting part about this is the fixed version.
When's the fixed version?
Far future
Fixed
version.
version.
1.10.
That's why I picked it.
Okay, who did this? Bang,
No, you
rolling
actually
drum.
no, you can actually like go on the bug tracker and we'll show you 1.9 future version and 1.10 future version.
Far
like-
future.
Yeah,
Far
but like,
future.
who put the like it has to be like a Mojangster who like actually marks it as fixed, right?
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think so.
Probably.
It's not.
Let's
It's
check
not
the
marked as
activity.
fixed. It's
Grum
Fix
reopened it
version.
apparently on November 9th. I'm trying to find it, but fix version. Can't find anyone editing the fixed version, to be honest.
Well,
So yeah, we don't know who did the fixed version, but someone did. So figure who is the Mojang Mole.
on the Mojang side, there wasn't a lot going on. No snapshot. Probably still like vacation over Christmas and so on. Apparently there was a Cobalt live stream that no one cares about, and
Maybe someone listening to the podcast is scared by it. Enemy, you're insensitive.
that was a
bastards.
Cobalt live stream. It's over by now. So
We even played Cobalt at Gamescom.
yeah, we did. Was weird.
I don't think it was bad. Like I
I
can't
lost
be
a
honest, I don't even
thing.
like it a lot. Like I probably wouldn't
was
play it
was
for long.
was chaotic.
I thought it was
but
fun. Well, when it
Yeah,
lasted, but once I understood the
would-
controls,
I
as
I
usual.
wouldn't play it for too long, but like the time we played it, which was not very long, was fun.
I would like it a bit longer because but it took like one game for me to figure out the controls because I suck at controls. Like I rarely use consoles and I expect to know like where the X and the A and the B and the left and right
it's
is.
like, no, not this one. Not this
Yeah, like
one.
I always have
Where's
to
the button
I
on
always
this
have to like
screen?
look like wait A where's A? Look at my controller instead of looking at the screen and like I just spend half my time looking at my controller. So yeah, that's PC gaming for me.
PC Master Race.
You're gonna offend some people there, but yeah.
On the other side, on Twitter, there was some interesting stuff said. The plans to change armor and damage value, and how armor and damage works, or how much armor you get per like chest plate or whatever. So that will be interesting to see what they do there, and hopefully not bad. I don't know. It will be interesting.
Oh,
We have to
yeah.
wait. I would assume they make a snapshot next week then. If they made a pre-release for and changed stuff in there, I think it would be a bit weird. But on the other hand, they've done weirder things. So yeah. Maybe as pre-release soon, since well, we're feature complete for quite a while now. So.
Yes, but pre-release in February probably.
Yeah, that sounds
We don't.
more
We're
reasonable.
not saying what year. That's up to you guys. to decide.
February of some year.
Unlike Project Voice Band, which has been postponing their latest episode for ages, but at least they did confirm that they mean February this year. So they were that honest, which I will link in the description just as I hijack this topic. Continue.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I got from Mojang. So I guess we can start with the other stuff now.
Yay, normal news.
Normal news.
Sad to be said, better news. Because Mojang news are typically pretty boring.
Okay, normal news.
No.
So first thing in the news, the 11 block tick shield buster by Redstone Jazz. So yeah, we went from 10 to 11 in like a month or something, or I think less than a month. But interesting, because like, I mean, of course we were thinking, like after watching Kip's video, I was also thinking like maybe it's possible, but
I'm waiting for the 13 block.
I was like, yeah, like I think it's fair to say, unless I'm like people go totally nuts, that 12 will be the limits. I wouldn't be surprised if 12 isn't going to be achieved within the next year, if it's even possible.
Well, if you pull back the blocks and then place a piston there, then push the piston, and then
like at that point you
move
basically
it.
have a machine which can just like get a tunnel going, which is really nice for a Quarry tech probably. But
if you manage a tunnel bore, I guess then you can make infinite block missile shield buster.
That's
yeah,
basically a tunnel bore quarry mining thing. And you can also have those automatic rail placing things, and then.
Well, maybe that would be a way to trick the missile people into doing quarry tech.
Yes!
Yes, we can get Siep on it.
Hey, can you make a missile like 100 block style? That
Well,
moves the block to the back and then stores them somewhere to break them there. To have influence somewhere.
Yes, enemy's whole existence is about manipulating people.
Well, German had to be.
I almost was gonna mention that one, but then enemy's gonna say, "Wow, it's no, those jokes are getting old."
About what they lost about.
Oh well.
Huh.
Whatever. Niels, we were just arguing with Niels about why you should, well, not basically like, I don't think you should necessarily follow the news or politics, but what values there are to history and politics and the news, and yeah, oh well.
Yeah, politics maybe, because then you know what box to pick. Well, what box
You can
to
also just
pick
pick the
at
blank
this.
box and assume that they're all equally worse, but
No, then just write something on it. Hi, I know this is invalid.
Good job,
yes.
Niels.
He's doing a reference again.
No,
Anyway, let's get back to Jazz's flying
I'm
machine, because
not.
actually,
Yeah,
What
it's
am I
not as
referencing?
you're always referencing Hello Internet.
No, I'm not
It looked like
referencing
it.
that.
Anyway, Jazz
I'm
made a pretty cool
referencing-
machine,
I was
okay?
talking about those real elections for real persons who do
And you're
important
like, not.
stuff.
good job,
People,
Niels.
can we just
Um,
like do stuff? Okay, so
Well,
basically
tell me about
Jazz
the
is...
missile.
Yes, so the missile is not... It's not like insanely complicated. It's like roughly the same size as the tunnel bored by Redstone. Like that was his 9 block thick shield buster. However, this one uses a bunch of cool mechanics. Like it uses piston worms amongst other things, which are already pretty cool, I have to say. Like I think they have been used in unidirectional sandstone, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool when you manage to use them, and Jazz managed to, well, work with that. So he's using a bunch of butts to power his piston worms, amongst other things. Also using lots of tagging mechanisms. Like he's not using a regular like 4-cycle clock or something. He's using a way slower one because he actually like needs his buttons. Some butts need to trigger twice during one cycle and then power a bunch of stuff. It's very complicated, and frankly, he kind of explains the thought process he had behind it and how he ended up creating it in the video, so you can watch that. But generally, it's just a pretty cool machine. I'm probably it would be funny if Cube makes a list like he did for 2016, and then he just puts that as first place. Like, yeah, sorry about last time. Here's actually a better one. Oh well.
I think the
Well,
last
better.
time I seen piston bombs used in unidirectional stuff, like in a big way, was for Cobras. But yeah, maybe there's other stuff that I
yeah.
just can't think of
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, I mean that was especially interesting because it wasn't using slamstone. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like some of Cube's machines may use them as well. I don't know. Like I don't analyze a lot of unidirectional slamstone. I'm not good at it. But yeah, that's most of that. Although I must actually correct myself because in fact Cube did put the block thick shield buster on the list, not the 10 block one, because he likes it more. So he's not gonna pick just the one with the highest payloads. Like he has other preferences as well. So whatever. That's his choice. So we should probably move on.
Yeah. Do you want
That's
to do
kind
more
of the only
slimestone?
news topic I have. So I think so. I don't know if you have something you want to talk
I
about.
guess we can stick with limestone for a little bit. Cube also showed the first diagonal missile.
Oh yeah, that one was also interesting.
This is, I guess he does bi-directional stuff now, but just not in the way we prefer.
Yeah, like when you say bi-directional, we almost always mean, yeah, well, two not perpendicular, two opposite directions. Yes, and not diagonal as a direction. Diagonal is not direction. Okay, and apparently Rob finds that my definition is very funny.
Yeah, say it.
Also, he's going all sorts of places now. He also made a vertical missile, which
Yes. Well, it wasn't that hard. Like I think it was kind of like it's right, in a stream someone asked about it, and I guess he was like video material.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
I'm not saying like I think like Cube is a smart guy and he's doing a lot of cool stuff, but like it's not that hard, and I don't think I'm offending him by saying that. Just like some people just really don't want to get into slime time, they just want to build something, and like if they need that, then that's fine. Like they need that kind of video. But then the enemy will complain because he won't complain because now I'm talking about Cube, but he would complain if I said the same thing about Mumbo.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Oh no,
If
you
you
didn't
want that.
not even respond. Yeah,
Um,
it's totally true. You complain about Mumbo making simple stuff constantly, even though people like it.
yeah, but like that's different kind of simple stuff.
Why? Like people need something and they ask someone who knows more about it, and they make a
Yeah,
simple
but like
design.
simple in the most
It's not-
horrible way.
Yeah, but like,
It's
it's
not.
like I with cubes myself, for example, like you can like save a redstone block at the bottom. No, not redstone block, slime. Oh yeah, sorry, redstone block. At least in the stream, maybe he changed the design after the stream, but in the stream his design wasn't optimal. He was like, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just trying to make a vertical missile. Like this is what people want, and there you go. Like if that's what they want.
Yes, but it's a thing that actually works and it's efficient, sort of, and serves its purpose well, not like mumbo stuff. He makes stuff simple in the worst way possible, where it decreases efficiency, it makes it absolutely ridiculous.
But there's always
More
there's
stuff.
almost always ways in which things can be improved. Like again, like there's blocks which could probably be saved
Yeah,
off
but I think he
without by
just.
cube.
But I think what he shows in the videos is just the crude redstone that he first comes up with. He never like, okay, how can I improve this before I publish a video?
Well, I guess we're not here
I'm
to
like I don't watch
bash
a lot
on
of his
Mumbo.
videos,
Maybe we should
so
like talk about other stuff.
yeah. Well, hello Mumbo, if you're watching, please give us a like.
Lol.
Yeah, I'm not getting that one anymore. I'm afraid.
Well, maybe
But
we should
like,
say that the stuff
no.
Cube was streaming, like he was making a missile factory, which was quite an interesting idea. Like I think we talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah,
But
maybe
he,
you
Well,
can
I
get
don't know.
the blocks
I think
for
it's
that
pretty hard.
with your quarry. Automatic
Like I
mining with your tunnel bore. Yes, an opportunity. That's maybe then. Ooh, yeah, I really need this part for my mesa factory, so I will invest time in that, and then he makes a quarry for you, enemy.
totally.
totally,
Anyway,
yeah, that's exactly
what I
what I
was trying to
referred.
say is that. Wait, right, like, this is not like much of a Minecraft discussion, but I was just thinking because I mean, I personally like my channel is indeed for a bit like, I don't publish stuff if I like, I only very rarely make videos about stuff which I'm right in the middle of. Like I made like with the this like block conserving sandstorm concept, like that was. Look, I'm working on this, but if I don't make a video now, I'll probably wait for 2 months. So that was the idea. So I want to give some kind of update. Sometimes I do those, but for the most part, I do work in that way. And I think like, can you blame people for not following like? Do you think do you guys really think that everyone has to follow that standard? Like where you need to put in effort, not until people are satisfied, but until like you can't easily improve it anymore?
Oh,
That's what
well,
you're arguing for,
Yes.
James. Okay, like
I guess it's a bit hard to define because Mango always does stuff that seems hard to improve and then does it anyway.
yeah, like he makes videos every day. You guys should hate him. Like if he just spent like a week per video, he'd probably get like he would skip like 10 videos of like in between steps. You guys don't mind him doing that, it seems. But yeah, what's your stance on that,
But
hypocrites?
he's always pushing it. That's the thing.
Yeah, he's always pushing it, but like there's still stuff room for improvement usually. That's why he like makes 3 videos about the same thing every time he improves it. Well, I think it's true. I don't think that's an insult. I think
Well, I don't know.
that's just like my perception of
I
his
know.
videos as far as I see them. Like I know this has turned a bit into the YouTube discussion podcast, but or like general just like not even Minecraft, just general like video creation podcast. But oh well, actually no, it is a bit about technical Minecraft, like inventing stuff and making videos about it. Like oh well, but
Oh,
maybe we should move
I
on
guess for
because it's
like
getting a bit too much into ad hominems. Yeah, right, rough.
Yay.
Oh well, I didn't want it to go that way, but like I think we can have general discussions about like policies and attitudes towards things like video creation. But now back to Minecraft news, I guess. We covered Samsung, I think, enemy, or is there anything else you want to mention?
no.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we should get to the mango section now, which has almost become like a broad part of the podcast.
Before we do that, there's some other stuff that happened this week. For example, Biker made a one-way trading hall, which is very interesting. And yeah, like it has the usual function for trading halls, but it also uses slime blocks and armor stands to trigger stuff on the top again when you move them out to open the slot again. And usually there's like redstone and stuff, and with his thing, you can like look through and shit. So alternative to the current designs, which is quite nice, and yeah, worth a look. Then there's also a Ghost Block 3D printer, which is very awesome, from a guy called Inventor. I think he's Chinese, maybe. There's lots of weird Chinese, Japanese symbols in his description, so probably Chinese. I'm not
Okay.
quite sure. I don't know all these symbols. But yeah, he made a Ghost Block 3D printer where he generates Ghost Block with a 1 byte Ghost Block generator from a guy called Max P, which had 0 subscribers when I looked at his channel last time. Now I think he has 2. That Ghost Block generator is quite interesting. we will link it as well. And using
Enemy.
that ghost block. Yes.
That was Korean, not Chinese or Japanese.
Korean. Okay.
Well, it's all the same. if you
Even
don't
better.
know
I'm very
that.
bad at languages.
Except
sorry.
it's not.
I'm sorry to anyone who offended my lacking knowledge of symbols.
Yay.
Except for
Yeah.
Mumbo, because apparently you like offending him.
Go on.
Oh well.
Yeah. Very cool. He uses ice as filler material, so to do the 3D printing properly, to get the pushing and so right, which is quite nice. And he has different chests as input, which I guess for these 3D print or printing things is the standard or easiest way by now. I think. I think that's like the easiest way you can do it. That yeah, it's cool. Check it out. Not very useful in a technical sense, but interesting. And I think after Quarry, the printing was the next thing, and I think with ghost blocks, I guess it's the easiest to do duality. Otherwise, would have to store and so on. Yeah. Now to the mango section, more or less.
I
First
told you
thing-
there would be a mango
Yay.
section.
I'm going to name this section totally arbitrarily as news that are presented best with slices of mango.
Ha ha ha.
Not as mango the person, mango the fruit.
Okay.
It's
I
a joke.
I guess this was the week of tipped arrow makers.
Yay!
Which I guess by now people are focusing on 1.9 tech a lot more than on 1.8, which I guess makes sense since the 1.9 release is getting closer. I would assume.
Closer?
Only half a year remaining.
Well, we're
I
feature
just
complete,
have-
but like last time that didn't mean a lot anyway. First one was I think 36 or something. Then the second one was 430, and then the year came along was like still not satisfied, and then he made one that maxes out a distribution system, which is
Yeah.
what was it, 2000 something.
I just have one opinion. They are still way too slow.
I wouldn't say that. Like the last
Papa.
one was actually quite laggy
How
because
many
of all the.
tip towers can you possibly need?
I don't know. I have no clue why you would need them all, or why you would need them in such a quick succession. 2,800 was
2800.
last, but no, not power per minute, guys. That's a big difference per minute. So yeah, and I don't think that's needed for anybody. Like maybe Jebe, but still. Also,
doesn't count.
apparently, Mango also likes to poke fun at Mango. Where in his video he said, "Yeah, well, this is not just MCL and copied 3 times over and called it too small." So it was quite funny.
Oh my god, that was fun actually.
Also with the second version, with the fast, not like stupidly fast, which he called like the last one, the fast tipped arrow maker. He actually found a technical use for the end rods, which you cannot use otherwise, or like first really, yeah, you cannot use any other block to have the same behavior. And the behavior is a
Yay.
block where you can shoot arrows in from 3 sides and like still have them in the middle and so on. So yeah, I guess that's nice. 1.9 technical usefulness for new blocks.
That's
Very
good.
useful.
So it's awesome. They do more than just like nice light. Okay. And then he made a dropper elevator, which turns out is not the smallest you can make it. Yeah. But still not a bad design. And yeah, that's like, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot to say about the tipped arrow makers. Then also this week there was a SciCraft episode again, SciCraft Server Tour. Very, very punny title, Why Not? Where they showed off their bigger wine farm, because you obviously need that for all your
Stuff and things.
mossy stone bricks that you definitely need. and I guess normal wine users. Yeah, which it's like same design that he showed a long time ago. Didn't think someone would ever need this amount of wines, but well, it's Minecraft.
By the way,
and
also they showed a new tree farm and an observation about this server. If you turn around for like 30 seconds, oh wait, new tree farm, yay!
yeah, they showed 2 tree farms actually. They showed the dark oak Dulcor tree farm that Mango showed in like a more let's play type episode a while ago that we also talked about in the podcast. And they showed the jungle tree farm, which he also has a video on, and we also talked about. So I guess there's not a lot of things to say about that. But what's interesting, they made a transport system for bones with chest minecarts. Yeah, the only thing that was a bit surprising to me is that they didn't have to junk load them for it to work properly. But I guess that's a nice thing when you have your stuff so close together.
Yep, I agree.
And then there was also a video from Ray showing off different ways to get above and below the void and have your base more or less there, like your store items there with mules and chest minecarts and so on. And yeah, for something, for example, that I didn't know is that you could actually use the shulkers to push up stuff even more, which is quite nice and convenient. But yeah, what do you guys think? Come on, guys, the podcast on the monologue. Say something.
Well, it was funny like a monologue. Oh well.
It was fun.
I think Ralph has a lot of opinions about it, don't you?
Well, I haven't watched the videos, so I don't really have that much opinion.
Are we gonna talk about Race Feeder, for example?
Yeah, talk about it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot to say about it because last time I watched it was like 6 days ago, and I don't remember a lot of it.
Okay. Nice.
He also showed some weird ghost mode thing today, which you still in after you're in a minecart, which I have no clue how it works. But I have, yeah.
Well, it's
some
ghost
really
mode, so it's not like it's that
It's not-
consistent anyway. But oh well. Well, I mean, it's consistent, but it's always a bit weird. But like, did no one watch Ray's video? You guys are like subscribed to him.
Hmm?
You guys
I
are
wa-
subscribed to him, right?
I watched this video, and just like it's a long time ago, and I don't remember all of it. It was
It's
like
less than a week ago.
No, it was when we did the
Actually,
podcast.
yeah, it's 8 days ago. Sorry. Well, it's about a week ago.
Oh yeah, he has stuff on ender crystals with Shulk and push those up.
Okay,
with
so
Shulkers.
now you have to.
Yeah, like
so
I
now you can
looked at
talk
the video
about
again
it.
and skipped through. Yeah. Like,
Oh well, it's going great. So anyway, I have race video about let's just call it
also,
board
there's
bases.
some stuff in the machines thing that I didn't look at, and like stuff I looked at, which I don't really want to talk about, like the binary to BCD thing. I don't think we need to talk about that. And apart from that, we talked about everything already except for the sector precision bomber, which would your thing to be to talk about, because yeah. Also, guy seems interesting. I subscribed to him, but I haven't watched all of this stuff yet.
But does any of you know what the BCD is? What BCD is in general?
I know what BCD is, binary coded decimal
Well, you're quickly.
numbers.
Why do you know that?
Because I used that stuff at work.
Dang it. Oh well. Why do you work on binary? Like, don't you work on a higher level?
My high level does most of the time
that's
uses
almost hardware.
programming based on nicely drawn boxes, and you draw connections to other shit. You don't even type.
Yeah, like that seems like a high level language. I'm surprised that you would have
It's
anything about binary stuff.
it's S7 what I use most of the time. The other thing is Phoenix. Yeah, whatever.
Never heard of that. Oh well.
Good job.
So anyway,
then you probably didn't work car industry or any industry automation standards before, but
yes, I've never been in a car factory before.
yeah, good job. You
I've been in a car Roof Factory 1.
I've been in the car. I'm just hours there.
Are you still recording
Oh.
or like
I
not?
think we
Yes.
are, yes.
You're
Okay,
recording.
let's
Okay,
continue.
good. And at least we're not like having to talk all over again.
At least we got a funny joke on podcast.
Yeah, I guess more about void base from Ray. Interesting thing that I always assumed just wouldn't work is that you can stack stuff on top of ender crystals. I never tried. Like, apparently you can stack boats on them. I guess like technically you can stack boats and withers and every other thing. So probably shouldn't have assumed it wouldn't work first place, but yeah. And then he also uses the shulkers to crush ender crystals even higher and so on. Can you push? No, you cannot push ender crystals. Ender crystals would be even worse, and you could go very high. But yeah. I guess for standard like survival, this is not all that useful, but for playing on these factions or anarchy servers and so on, really interesting. And I guess just like general knowledge about being able to push stuff with shulkers and so on over the void or under the void is always useful. So yeah.
Hey people, I know how to go into the void infinite as deep as you want.
I know too.
Yes, the bottom void.
What?
The bottom void because you fall.
Yes, yeah, but how you survive?
Oh, yeah, that's another question.
I
Right,
know how.
commands.
No, you
Go
use
ghost
notch
modes.
apples. Notch apples. But
They're
ghost
fast
mode,
enough.
ghost
Like, I
mode
know
also
back in
work.
the day there was this very strange thing when if you had a regen effect while falling into the void, that it's actually the void hit you more quickly.
Well,
A lot more quickly.
the notch apples have a region 5, and that will be able. That is enough to keep you alive.
Okay, well, like they probably changed that. I think it was used to be a bug. But,
A long time ago, there was this CTM concept thing where you have a void hole, and you dared to jump in it. And if you jump in and while eating a golden apple, you will be long enough alive to teleport out and get some fancy loot. But yeah, no one cares about CTM stuff. So.
Okay,
But
well, I don't know.
that's
I
why I
just
know.
remember.
Like,
I remember like back in the day when like on the little overcast network, like I sometimes ate a golden apple while I was falling into the void, because it would speed up the dying process. Like, so I'm pretty sure it used to be a glitch at some point.
oh,
well.
that may be.
Makes sense though.
Yeah, you regen faster, so you get hit faster. I don't know, it makes no sense. But like it happened like then you got it like 5 times faster or something. It was really fast. Well,
Weird. Okay.
but we should probably continue. Also, enemy, you bragged about BCD, but maybe we should explain to the viewers what it means. Listeners.
BCDs is a way of displaying number or storing a value and displaying it as a number.
Okay, enemies very quickly today, so I'll cut it short.
Yeah.
Basically, binary is just like, well, I'm not gonna explain binary. It's a bit hard if you haven't used Word with other base systems. But look it up on Wikipedia. I'll link to the page. And BCD is just that basically you just write your number in decimal, but instead of using the decimal digits, you use 4 bits to represent each digit. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And so basically, instead of like if you write a number like 64
16.
in decimal, you would in binary you would just write 10000 or something along those lines. Whereas in BCD you would write 0110 because that's 6, and then 0100 because that's 4. That's the main idea. And of course it takes more space, but it's easier to basically display it. So that's the pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah. If you do like 7-segment displays, for example, that's very useful. Most of them use that. And yeah, also in Minecraft, a lot of people use BCD for input and then converting into binary for calculation in calculators or whatever, and then back to BCD for display purposes. But yeah.
Okay. Any other news you want to talk about?
Yeah, like Ray made a video today about where he showed this weird ghost mod thing, and he didn't explain how it works. So that's like really not a lot I can talk about. Like it's very weird because you can apparently go into minecart and go out of a minecart and you're still in ghost mode or something. But when you're in the minecart, you're not. It's like really weird, and I'm really interested on how it would work. But yeah. He didn't say so.
Yeah, I'll just call today's video about ghost mode. It's Prototech SMP episode 5, apparently. Life as a ghost. Yeah, it looks pretty weird, I have to say. Oh well. Looks useful actually. Like, I often want to like go to areas and see how things are going without like loading chunks for Sandtech, and actually maybe I never thought about ghost mode for some reason. Oh well. Okay, so you can check out that video in the description if you want to. Also, I just realized it's probably worth mentioning that Cube, what I think is pretty interesting, what he has been making lately, is the missile assembly factory, but there's no video about it, so I'll just link you to his Twitch, because lately he's been streaming almost daily, when he just works on the thing. Like, it's funny how modular the thing ends up being, because basically what he does, he just he has all these conveyors which are work in special ways so that he can like get slam blocks. Basically, they are conveyors which can like turn slam blocks around, like Jazz made back in the day. I think I'll link to Jazz's. I'm getting confused. I need to link to binary as well, so let's do that. Binary BCD. And so yeah. Anyway, Jazz made something back in the day for that, and basically, what Cube's missile, how it kind of seems to work, from what I got, is that he just stacks up the block. He then pushes that block, like 3 blocks usually, over, and then there's like a new conveyor which pushes from another side, which comes in as another block. Then it gets pushed from another direction, like it goes around like in a zigzag kind of. And at some point, he basically gets basically his main goal is getting a fully working hypercharged engine, because he's trying to build a cruiser missile. I'll also link to his cruiser missile. But
Linked a lot again.
yeah, I'll have a lot of work after this podcast.
If
But-
you have more space in your character limit, then you can please link to a video from Neuromaster about binary to BCD, and he does like a good job explaining it. It's super long, but go on.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, basically the idea is to create a cruiser missile and something smart, which I didn't think about, but I think it's when he explained it on the stream, I was like, hey, yeah, that's actually a really nice idea. Is that basically he doesn't need to like go crazy and have this like huge assembly line, like if that's even possible to do, to like extend this out infinitely. It's probably gonna get pretty hard at some point to keep on pushing all of your components as long as you add more blocks. So really what he only needs to do is create the engine, and once he has the engine, he can just send that thing off, and then he just needs to like place new components in front of it, and that works fine. So that's what his plan is, and he's almost done with the engine. Like when I last watched this stream like 2 to 3 days ago, I think he just needs to add a couple of more blocks, so maybe that's already done. And like then it's just making those other components, but they're smaller than the engine, so they shouldn't be extremely hard to make. Yeah, I
Does he
really look
make
forward
it
to
in a way where you have to actively place the blocks, or where you can just place a ton of slime blocks somewhere?
At the moment, he did do
Well-
the distribution to the input where he uses the slime blocks. He just has a cartridge and
Yeah, like he has
Builds
lots
it
of
manually at the
cartridges for
moment.
basically every place where he needs blocks. He just builds like these cartridges made with these special Jazz conveyor thingies, and he uses like he basically uses slime blocks to. It's actually interesting to like basically as a filler material. It's a bit hard to explain, but like because you can turn them around but they like stick to each other, you can also just grab it, like pull it, pull the cartridge in of slime blocks, then grab one slime block and push it out, and that way you can still grab more slime blocks. Basically, it's like you can grab like 12 slime blocks without any trouble. Even more if you will hook up multiple to each other, roughly speaking. So that's how I uses to like push his blocks into the cartridge without having to reset it every time. Like for example, I used sound for that in my 12-sided cube extractor, which I guess I will also link because I like self-advertising. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. And I actually kind of hope he will use the 12-sided cube extractor for at least his TNT and piston storages. It would be interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with slime blocks, but I did make it for TNT, and I'm pretty sure it should also work for pistons if you mess a bit with it. So yeah, that's that. Anything you guys have to say?
well, working in a car factory, I think he's doing.
I know a lot
very
about assembly lines.
yeah, actually a little bit, but usually what you also do is you have a
You
skid.
first get the engine working, then you put it on the
No,
ground, and then it goes off on
basically-
its own.
No, the engine and like wheels and so on, and the gearbox are completely separate from the chassis. And a chassis in the beginning is on a skid, basically a metal sled, and everything. Yeah, the floor is on there, and the wheelhouse, and then everything afterwards is attached to that while it's still on the skid, and the skid is moving around through the assembly lines. So making the engine first and moving it in Minecraft might be easier, but like, and then
It
I
doesn't
think
make any
it might.
sense, IRL.
No, like I think it might be easier to make to base your assembly line more on like IRL solutions, because basically you make stops where you want to attach something instead of like everything must go in this one place.
Yeah, but it's hard. But because you can't
Like-
easily just make a conveyor where you have like a bunch of stuff laying on top of. I think
No,
the,
basically
I think,
what he could do is he he has like the platform where he puts like you could slice the missile in pieces, right? And
Yes.
like you could do the back 4 blocks and the blocks in front of that and so on. You can push them along, and at the point where it actually flies on its own, you could fly it and then stop it and add more stuff then, which I guess I think is trying to do at the moment. But usually you have some platform where you have your material on, and then you push the platform instead of trying to push everything on top independently, which is very hard normally. But yeah, I guess in real life doesn't really apply to Minecraft that often. So
Yeah, like I really don't think it's gonna apply because in real life you can just like grab something and move it, and like everything sticks together. In Minecraft, you can only do that for 12 blocks, and everything needs to be connected with slime blocks and stuff. So I think it's really easier to just first make the engine and then have that thing go along. Like if you make an engine in reality, that's very nice, but you don't have any wheels, so it's not gonna do anything. So,
It would
yeah.
be like if you're making a car, just make some wheels and a chassis, and then just
push it.
drive the car to the
Yeah.
next station where you have to
yeah,
add the mirrors.
also
And yeah, also
something
like a thing with real cars is that the engine isn't at the back. It's not like you can just drive it through a bunch of stuff and then have it come out as a full car. Whereas you can do that with Gibbs missile.
well, I still think pulling it apart a bit more, and then at the point where it's not flying on its own, you just push it instead of like, okay, everything.
Yeah, but that's
to
annoying.
make
That's
it
like
flyable has
that's
to
what
be
he
in
needs
one
to do in the
place.
first steps. That's
No,
that's
like
why the first steps are so annoying. Once he gets that done, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, but instead of like like making it, trying to the part where he's doing, make it inflyable, instead of that putting that in one spot, you could do part of it and then push that to the other part and then push it together and then it flies, right?
Yeah, that's what he does.
No, like what he does is everything is in one spot, right? You could do, for example, the left and right side independently.
Well, like he doesn't
and then
put it further
move
away than it needs to be. No, like he puts it as close as possible because else he needs
Yeah,
to
no, but
build
that's the
extra
whole point. You
conveyors.
don't want to you don't need to do that. You don't need to have it as close
But
as possible.
then you just then you have conveyors which are for nothing, like enemy
Well, like
compacting.
You have space. That's
Yes,
that's
in
the whole
reality,
thing.
it's
Yeah,
easier because then you have like space for people and stuff, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
in
like,
Minecraft you also have space. Like it's
In
very
Minecraft,
hard to
space
make it.
is
enemy,
cheap.
why would you make your factory 4 times larger than it needs to be? Both the IRL and
no,
Minecraft.
like I'm not saying just make it large for effect of being large. Make it large so it's easier to push stuff in. Because at the moment he's like pushing stuff in from all sides. Like, oh, I need to add a block here, and like he's going like on top and then to the right and then to the left again and then to a bit higher because he has no space.
Yeah. I mean, of course, like if you basically mean he should plan things out so he can like has more space to work with later.
You don't need to push everything into one place. You can just push things in 2 places, push those things together. Like you don't need to have everything in that one thing.
So not in a serial manner, but in like a more branching manner. I guess you can do that. Yeah.
But yeah,
and again, I think like what I saw is that he got most of it already working, so I'm pretty sure the engine should be alright. And once he's got the engine, it shouldn't be hard anymore. Like it'll be a lot of work, and it'll be impressive once it's done. But I think the engine is the biggest challenge. I don't know. Like I've never built it. I just watch the streams for a bit, and that seems to be my experience.
Did some digging this week on the perimeter. Also, I streamed some of the digging, and yesterday we built a piston board towards the perimeter, so we didn't have to walk there all the time. And I also streamed that, and today we finished that, and I streamed that, and we failed a little bit, and yeah, all you guys can laugh at us.
And tic-tac-toe.
Oh, and we played 3 people tic-tac-toe on stream, which was also fun. Also, to anyone who hasn't tried it, tic-tac-toe with more than one person and like 4x4 field, for example, way more fun than you expect it to be. But yeah.
Basically, it gets harder.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like,
it-
okay, he's going to place it like there, and
It opens up way more options. It's like you can force people to place somewhere so the person after them doesn't win. But since you're the person in between them, you can do whatever you want. Sometimes you have to work together so the other person doesn't win. Stuff like that. It's quite interesting. But yeah. Maybe at some point we can do background footage with that. Maybe.
maybe someday.
Well, yeah. I think that's about it for me. Also watch some of Cube's streams, but yeah.
Hey, I already talked about that. Oh well.
Yeah, so what did you
Niels.
do this week?
Bit of the tic-tac-toe thing, because enemy is always forced. Hey, come play tic-tac-toe. Come play tic-tac-toe. So yeah, you get forced into playing tic-tac-toe, and bit of digging. That's it. And yeah, yesterday the thing with nothing else that enemy didn't mention yet.
I dug a bit. I helped enemy build the piston bolt. I derped with it a lot.
That was actually quite fun. Like, we did the curved rails, and Raf got the very first curved rail, so it didn't work, and we had to do every single rail again on that side.
How funny doing rails over. What? I don't get you guys sense of fun sometimes. Like, I really don't.
Yeah, this technically Minecraft is weird sense of humor.
Yeah.
Digging
Haha.
huge holes like for hundreds of hours is a lot of fun.
And most importantly, it's funny. Like, haha. Oh well.
Yeah, definitely.
Accident. No, not really. Oh well. Anything else, Ruff?
Nope.
Well, I guess it's time for the most important person on the podcast to talk now. Recording D&D TRQ. What did you do this week? Okay, that's Niels' bot, by the way, who records and also in the channel with us. Anyway, so what did I do this week? I studied. And about 3 days, actually, a lot of work. Surprisingly, considering my first exam is in like 5 days. Normally, I only start getting to real work like days before exams. But I finally got myself to a schedule, which was completely messed up today. Well, not completely. Like, I'll still get some work done, but less than I hope for. Then again, it's AGDQ, so got to take some time off as well sometimes. But apart from studying, I just worked more on Samtech, and as I said earlier, I think I may have found a nice solution to the cloning problem finally. It involves, amongst other things, a second sand dispenser. We're going to go back to classical conveyors, partially, probably. Well, it's easier at least, I think. What else? The main mill will be an instant conveyor, though I'm not sure what I'll do. We'll have to see. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that also I went on Reflex. I did a bit of survival. I did crafting iron today, and we will be very happy. And I also went and found located the 2 other end portals because I needed their coordinates. Because if you don't know, I'm currently just trying to get the sand farm working with the exact same coordinates as on Reflex for spawning the end portals. Because what I'm doing here is actually coordinate dependent, which are people are probably gonna call this crazy. It's not supposed to be a very customizable farm. Like if this actually works and I release it, then it will just be like no tutorial, guys. It's just you need to get it working exactly for your world. Sorry. Oh well, I know. I may try something like a tutorial, but it'll be complicated. But anyway, I think I may have a solution to the whole chunk loading problem, and it involves 7,000 redstone, probably. Maybe more. Actually, maybe less, probably. Are you guys already getting excited?
I just realized something that I forgot to mention. I did some speed tests on my slime farm.
And how fast is it?
Fast.
It's fine.
And Niels
Actually,
happy.
the perfect scenario I haven't measured yet, which is I totally forgot about that. You can like break bedrock and move it lower and make an extra layer in there. And that's the scenario I haven't tested yet. But without breaking bedrock and with I guess in good conditions would mean that you have high local difficulty because then you have higher chance of big slime spawning, which makes sense to test in because why would you not test that? Because on the server we would also have high local difficulty. The average after 35 hours was 8,320 items for one farm. For one, like we have 4 in the server. Like, for one, it's 8,300.
So
Which is
it's almost a 9K slime farm.
Yeah, if you break bedrock, it might be. Yeah, like
A 9K
I-
farm. Yeah.
it's funny. Like a long time ago when we did the first version of this thing, like over a year ago, someone said that it would be over 8,000, and I always said no, it's not true because I had no clue, and the person just made something up. But actually, the person was right all along, so it's quite funny. But yeah.
Our fancy slime farms.
Depending
Yay.
on which test you believe, because some of the tests gave like 8,000, couple of hundred. The other ones just at 7,000, right?
No, actually, I had no tested like below 7,000. Also, after 35 hours, I think you get a good average. I had a couple tests that are only 1 hour. I think one of them was 8.3, 8.6, and I had one over 9,000. But I guess it's how lucky you get with mob spawning.
It was
so yeah.
over 9,000.
Yeah.
It's often with mob drops, but okay.
I also did slash debug and calculate for 20 TPS to get a accurate result. Most of the tests, like even at 5 times tick speed, was at like 5 times tick speed was like 99.98 TPS or something like that, like very very close to 100. And yeah, if it was bit away, I also calculated so it would be 100 or perfect tick speed. Yeah. So well, on the server, our storage fills up after around 21 hours. Maybe a little bit, 21 and a half, something a bit better. But since people are playing realistically, with you can say it's full after 2 days. That's also quite nice. But yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah, enemy just has 1/20th of his total account power dedicated to RT slime farms.
It seems totally fair. Oh well.
Wout?
Yes. I mean, I'm not done yet. Anyway, I was thinking about Santec again, and so yeah. Anyway, I had like a eureka moment or whatever you want to pronounce it. Like last, I don't know, like not a week ago, like on Tuesday or something. And since now it hasn't been disproven yet, so that's nice. Normally, I like within 3 days, I'm like, oh crap, this isn't gonna work because Minecraft is turns out to be weird again in some very strange way. However, this may work. But yeah, something. If you guys want to do a project, actually, basically, if my current solution is gonna work, then the size of my project heavily depends on how quickly I can start up like sand dispenser. So I've actually made a second sand dispenser now, which is a lot faster. It uses slime blocks to fire the sand into the portal, so it doesn't need to wait for 20 ticks for it to fall. However, it still takes 21 ticks from the first moment you powered. Basically, I would take me 21 ticks for the first moment I sent an input into it to actually to first send arriving in the end, like using my typical detection method, which I may talk about in a future video. So anyway, if you guys can do something significantly faster, or like actually just one tick faster would already be nice, but it's just hard to measure using the exact same method I use. So you maybe be one tick off. But if you can get something faster where you like just start dropping into the portal and get going right away, then please let me know. So yeah, like it would preferably be a 4 packets sand dispenser, so you send one pulse in every 0.6 seconds, and then it sends 4 sand through, and it does that as quickly as possible. So the time from the first powering to the first sand arriving in the end. That's what I need. And every tick which could be shaven off there would be quite useful for reasons which I have yet to explain, if my solution is right. Also, what I said last week about permanently loading the end, well, I can't say it's going to be impossible. Well, I don't think you should ever say that, but the idea I had last week is probably not going to work because I read a lot more source. Well, I read a bit more source code today, and it looks like the end chunk loading thingy works a lot differently than one than I expected to, and two than the way it works in the overworld.
Wout? Do the
Yes.
outro.
Okay. This week on the Wout Show, please work on the Wout Show quote number 10. That would be nice. But if that's too hard for you, poor souls, peasants, then please
Try
work on the
11.
Sand Dispenser, because that would be really nice. And yeah, don't try
Guess
11
what
because
the
it makes
11th
sense.
quote is going to be, and then say it.
I think that may be like that may be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Anyway, so if that doesn't work, then please work on a sand dispenser with a fast startup time, because every tick of there would be useful. Oh yeah, of course, and make sure that that your mechanism, that your like sand actually gets duplicated. Because yeah, if it doesn't, then it's worthless. Because I could get it through the portal faster, but I need to get some height in order for it to be aligned correctly with the fence underneath and that whole bang. So yeah, that's that. I think a little bit. Bye.
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 Bye.